to the Knitrepreneurs. We have been nattering away here now for over an hour. So we thought we'd bring you all into this little chat that we're having and go through our little bit of a second episode to see how we're going. And I just need to point out that I'm wearing sequins today, everyone. It's just
shimmy for us.
wonderful.
Shimmy for us.
Yeah, I'm trying to.
Oh, there we go. A bit of sparkle.
Yeah, absolutely. And why am I wearing sequins today? Because it's Thursday. That's it. That's the only reason.
There's no better reason
to wear sequins. And I don't have a wonderful knitted shawl like what you're wearing. So tell us about it.
I'm wearing the Flying Fox shawl. It's a brioche. Oh, here, I'll do the little, you can have a look at just the magnificence of this shawl. Stephen West, of course. And obviously we're all super excited that he's dropping the first episode of the Mystery Knit Along tonight. Clue. So I thought I'd wear a bit of now I have to arrange it again. But we're so excited about the first clue being dropped. So there we go.
Yeah, that's cool.
That works, doesn't it?
And what yarn is that?
It's Finch Yarn, who are a local SA indie dye, and it's mixed with I can't remember actually.
That's okay.
It might be Hedgehog, it might be Malabrigo. I can't remember what the orange was. Actually, I think it might be it's a single ply. Now I have to go looking. It might be Madeline Tosh, actually. Yeah, I think it's Madeline Tosh because it's got that kind of beautiful luminescent core and then the fluff of the orange around it. So
yeah, lovely. Anyway. And you're so very well coordinated.
Oh yeah, I got my elk, yellow earrings on, and
all the yellows and the tones.
Oh yeah, I got the yellow. Yeah. I've got yellow in my whip that I'll show you later.
Yeah, cool. Right, where are we starting? What's our news?
Oh, so the news. Well, today actually, I haven't sent it out to my mailing list, but I'm going to be sending it out today. That I've got a vegan knitting workshop coming up.
Oh yeah, tell us about it.
Oh, it's going to be so fun. It's at a vegan cafe in West Croydon, which, if you're not familiar with Adelaide, it's a very funky kind of hipster neighbourhood, close to the city. And it's sort of this cafe has got its own kind of special following, really artistic and cool and fun. Lots of plants and stuff in the room that we're going to be sharing our workshop in, and we're going to be exploring some non-animal yarns. So no silk, no wool. But there's actually a huge range to choose from. And did you know we're going to have seaweed on the menu?
Okay.
On the yarn made from seaweed. That's on the tasting menu.
Where are you getting these from?
So Vida Blue. So Sarah Shield, again, an SA yarn retailer. She's mostly online, but she runs markets and things. She has this incredible array of plant-based yarns that she imports from around the world. And so she's going to have a pop-up shop as well at the event. So yeah.
Oh my gosh. There's so much to learn, isn't there? I had absolutely no idea yarn. What other sorts of things is it made out of? Because I know you've talked to me about banana fibers.
Yeah, so she'll have some of that there, but we're not having that on the menu. That's a bit of a chunkier yarn. We went with sort of finer yarns that you could easily sort of transfer into, say, a 5-ply or an 8-ply pattern. So we've got linen. We're hoping that some hemp will arrive in time, but not exactly sure. If not, we'll put cotton in there. And the final one was nettle. We have nettle yarn. Yeah, which actually has some really great properties, healing properties as well. Nettle is kind of a bit of the sweetheart of the plant-based world.
Right. Okay. Good. And these are some of the alternative fibers you're going to bring across here next year, aren't they?
Yes, exactly. Yeah.
Excellent.
So,
excellent.
Exciting.
Cool.
So what's your news?
My news is that not this coming weekend, but the following, so the 14th to the 16th, is our very first yarn trail retreat.
Yeah.
Yes, I'm very excited. I've called it, it was the Absolute Purler. It's called the Absolute Purler, an Absolute Purler of a weekend away, but it's just because I named all that before I started the yarn trail thing. So we've got 2 nights in Harcourt, which is near Castlemaine, which is close to Bendigo.
Lovely.
And we've got a wonderful chef coming, and we're going to have high tea on the Saturday afternoon, and and we're going to have a visit from Zigo Zago Artisan Yarns. She's coming along to bring some stuff for the ladies, and Caitlin Johnston, who is from a Maker's Burrow, she dyes yarn for House of Cloth, which is a store in Bendigo. So she's coming along to do a little bit of a demo. That'll be wonderful. And we are just going to knit our butts off. Well, I still have an injury, so I won't be knitting anything really. But I might take
for everyone with your new
yes. I got a Swift for my birthday recently, so I'm very excited. I will show you this next time. I'll do some reels while we're at the retreat. But I got one of those Amish style Swifts, so I'm excited to set that up, and I'll just do I'll just do the ball one with my left hand.
Of course.
So see how that goes. But I'm really excited. I'm really just chuffed that this amount of people wanted to come. It's something they were interested in doing, and
it sounds so fun. Such a great
it's gonna be lovely. It's not to be taken too seriously. It's just to be a fun, good connection time in a nice location. People get to go Bendigo Woolen Mills before or after, whatever they want to do. And I'm going to be asking a lot of questions about what sort of things have worked and what sort of things people want in these types of retreats in the future. And then I'll put down some hard dates for next year for the Yarn Trail retreat. So anyone listening here as well, if you've got great ideas or the things you think are really sort of non-negotiable in that type of experience, my thinking is, there'll be some sort of farm experience in retreats. That'll definitely be high tea. There's always going to be high tea. If there's not scones with jam and cream, it's just not going to happen. And my chef, I have a chef. My chef, he knows that.
You've arrived when you've got your own chef.
I have a chef. Yeah, absolutely. And he's hilarious, but he doesn't want me to talk too much about anything chefy until he wants to be kept a secret. So I'll keep him a secret. So you have to come to a yarn trail to find out about the chef. Anyway.
I can't wait.
So that's all happening, and one thing I've got gonna happen at the yarn trail at the retreat is a yarn exchange table. So just bring along any yarn that you'd like to put on the table. Someone can take, you put something there, like a little library out on the street, that type of thing. And we're going to do hopefully maybe some scrappy knitting projects. We'll see. I've just got a bunch here of different sized mitered squares that I made up with just different colors, and I'd love to do some sort of community project where we put something together, or just things like log cabin squares, those types of things, just to get people to use up stuff and try new things. So
I've definitely got a lot of little balls of things, and it's frustrating. You're like, what do I do with it? But I actually have an answer if it's 4-ply. Do you want to see what I've been working on?
Yeah, of course. Go for it.
So these are the Kamiko socks. They're made really in a very unusual way. Most socks are starting with the toe up, and you kind of knit a tube, and then you do some shaping, and then you do the leg. Others are top down, and then you do your shaping for the heel, and then you cast off at the toe. But this, you actually did a bind on, a cast on here. You did the toe, then you parked some stitches, then you did the sole, then you did your shaping for the heel, and then you go back and you reattach your yarn, and you start building out the top of the foot, and you're selvaging, knitting two together along here to close it back up again. So it's absolutely fascinating, and I've got a whole bag full of all different 4-ply yarns that I've kind of amassed. But it's in the pom-pom 42 edition 42.
And so what do you think the benefit of that is going to be? Is there going to be
as I said, it's here's the picture of it too. It's a good for using up scraps. I don't know in terms of the feel or the fit. I don't think it's going to change the fit. You could, I suppose, if you had a narrower foot, you could do a narrower sole. You could do some shaping in the sole. But for me, I love working through other people's patterns, because I feel like it's getting into the brain of the designer, and it's like my professional learning. I'm continuing to evolve my language and my design aesthetic, and through engaging with someone else's. It's just it gets me thinking. It's like learning another language, So it's a lot of fun.
And you also have something else lovely to share that you picked up last week, a particular book. Who's in love? She really is.
So in love. Oh my gosh. The Mindfulness in Knitting by Rachel Matthews. You may have seen I posted a little excerpt. I'm just like savoring it, just reading bits and sitting with it, writing in a journal. Rachel does give us activities. So the one I sort of stopped short of yesterday was around like, how does knitting relate to your life? And how is your ability to work through life's problems while you're knitting? So it's like really connecting practice, the artistic process, as well as the practical elements. So she's always about connecting head, heart, and hands of knitting. It's not just about the product or the thing that your hands are generating, but, you know, how is your mind and your spirit connecting in the whole process? So yeah, it's really, really beautiful. It's not a thick volume, but I think it's going to take me time as I slowly, you
want to absorb it. You don't just want to rush through to say you've finished it. You actually want the journey and the experience of that. And which links in beautifully with wanting the journey and the experience of actually knitting. Rather than, and I know you posted about the videos where you see people throw balls of yarn and all of a sudden there's a jumper.
It really irks me. Does it irk you too?
A little, yeah. It's just like, okay, that's fair enough, but it's not how it works. And the bit that the bit that I love about knitting is my mind switching off. Like when I first started knitting a lot, which was only 16 months ago or so, I would sit there knitting and then I'd look up and I'd think, oh, my mind has not been rushing. It has not been thinking about the 500 things I've got to do this afternoon or this week or whatever it is. It has just focused here. Oh my God, I love that. Quick, let me go back. So the what I produce is second almost to, to that type of thing. It's just a lovely feeling. And then of course, one thing I'm exploring as well is the community that comes around knitting and the community that comes around yarn and all that production and stuff. So yeah, it's fabulous stuff. It really is cool.
Yeah, I think I'm going to have to either get you a copy or send you this one when I'm done. But I don't know if I can let it go too far.
No, don't let it go. No. Just send me one. We'll book club it or something.
Oh, yeah.
My book is something I have looked into a little bit. It's called The Alternate Rebellion. And I just love this idea of knitting as a rebellious activity or as a political statement, etc. So this book is about a style of knitting called, I don't know how to pronounce it properly, it's a Danish word. I'm going to say Håndstrik, where you actually...
Anyone who knows the exact pronunciation, please put it down in the comments.
That's fine. And it's all about putting these patterns into, patterns into knitting, which is just fantastic. I love these ideas. And of course, at the back, which is wonderful, it's got all these patterns that you can make. So this is the beautiful thing, that it's got the patterns there and you can put them together into whatever garment and whatever sort of thing you like. But I just really want to explore that a lot more. Oh, I have got one item. That I've done from that book. So I will just show you. It worked out to be a bit too small, but that's okay. We go to the yarn cupboard. So that's fine. And it just this, I just love this idea of this expression of a craft as something. Okay, so I did try.
Oh, gorgeous.
Yeah.
Oh, I love that.
So I just got those out of the back of that book.
Oh,
and did this for my partner's son, but it is way too tight for him, so that's fine. So I was just going to donate it, but and it wasn't difficult, not difficult. It's just, one strand at a time. It's not a problem. So I've got a lot of goals for that book and some very loud garments that maybe make statements. Who knows? Who knows? So that's cool. And that was my book. Yeah.
Oh, brilliant. Is it time for Chicken of Wisdom?
It could be. So everybody, the proper chicken is here this time. The proper chicken is here.
I can't wait to meet her.
Here she is.
Oh. Hello, Chicken of Wisdom.
She's gorgeous.
I'm a little bit starstruck because I feel like I've met her before, but now I actually get to meet her.
Yes, she is wonderful. And you know what? She's actually going to come to I teach at the uni out here in Ballarat, and she comes along and she does circle time with my wellbeing class. I have a class where we teach wellbeing and education, and she comes and she gets passed around and she sits on people's knees, and because she's lovely to just hold on to. She's lovely and soft and just have a nice, it's a nice lap size. And I forgot to take her one week, and I didn't think these students were really paying much attention. But where's the chicken? Jess, where is the chicken? We can't do circle time if we don't have the chicken. Okay, I'll bring the chicken. So the chicken is here. The chicken normally lives on a table out the front, but I do have a puppy that might eat the chicken, or a couple of puppies. So she sits up high now under the TV.
She's not some dinner.
No, she's not dinner. She's not dinner. Absolutely not. Now, I must admit, I was going to get ready and do another quote for her on the board for us today, but I didn't. So I will do that. To do that for next week. Yes. So the quote for this week, the Chicken of Wisdom's quote, and this is so relevant, Prue, to what we have been talking about. And the Chicken of wisdom this week is, you just never know. It might all work out.
Oh, that's exactly what we need to hear.
Yep. You never know. It might just all work out. And I think that's just.
Thank you, Chicken of Wisdom.
I know. She hits, doesn't she?
She does.
All the feels.
Really gets it.
All the feels. And so she's there for us with all of the exciting things that we've been talking about today, and just getting things up and going. So yeah. So she's on to it. She knows what we need to hear. Absolutely. And look, I think that's us for today, isn't it? Really?
Yeah.
Us looking gorgeous with our sequins and our shawls and our earrings.
Yeah. That's it. Put on some earrings, throw on some colour or some sparkles, and have a great Thursday or wherever it is, or whatever day it is, wherever you are. And thanks again. We'll see you next week.
Excellent. Bye, everyone.
Bye, everyone.